Many of my clients ask me, how can I possibly avoid this backed up court system that we are working out of? Every business has issues that sometimes end up in court, but how do we avoid that? One thing I tell them is it pays to be proactive. You have to look at those problems that you've had in the past, and you have to try to resolve them. You can't ignore them. So one idea is to sit down with your general counsel and spend a couple hours looking at those past problems and determining how could those have been avoided, and are there issues in a particular area like HR or in regulatory things that keep popping up that are recurrent. So when you're looking at those things, you have to develop systems and processes around that. Well, so what does that mean? That may mean looking at a checklist of things that you have to look towards. Or it may be a process where you are looking at having, when an event happens, how does it get recognized? How does it get dealt with? Will it go from the bottom up? So if you are having a problem with somebody that works on your warehouse floor or works in your manufacturing plant, and there is an issue that goes to their supervisor, how does it get up the food chain, so to speak, so that it can be dealt with before it ever ends up being in a court situation? This is important that you have this process and that you recognize that there may be disagreements that happen, and you need to quell those things before they ever get into a court situation if you want to avoid this. So another thing is to make sure that your contracts are handled properly. What I mean to say with that is you want your general counsel first to be able to read them before you sign them and to give comments about that, so you actually have a contract that's beneficial to you as well as to the other side. Well, what if the parties aren't honoring this? You have to have a methodology of how are you going to monitor whether the other side is following through or whether your side is following through. Both sides need to follow through on what they promised they were going to do in order for this to work properly. So as you're going along in the process in the contract, you have to look at what are the terms, what are the things that the other side's supposed to do, what are the things you're supposed to do, and make sure that those things are honored. If you have a lot of problems in HR, remember the old adage, hire slow, fire fast, because you don't want to have these problems crop up, especially in the economy that we're faced with, trying to find the right fit people. So the last thing I'll leave you with is, if you do get into a dispute that doesn't seem to resolve easily, your team with another team on the outside, you should consider using a business mediator. You can use this and not have to be in this clogged up court system at all, and you might have a much better result dealing with someone who actually knows business.